Hey everybody, it's Christine at Ziedman Development, and today I'm going to show you a case study of how Importacular can help you move your Constant Contact campaign data, specifically everyone who was sent an email campaign, from Constant Contact into the Razor's Edge. So just to let you know, I am going to show you how to add this to both a constituent appeal as well as an action. Constituent appeals are, of course, available to all users as part of the free version. Actions are a paid destination. Now, you may use something else, and if you'd like some more information on any other area where you may track emails, please let our team know, and we'd be happy to discuss your options with you. But let's go ahead and get started with the areas that I've mentioned I want to show you. So I'm going to click on my Constant Contact icon, and I'm going to click on Start. Next, I need to choose what import option I want, and I'm going to work with campaigns today, and I am going to work with my winter appeal reminder. I do want to work with everyone sent here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to choose sent, and we're going to go ahead and load that information. Now, we are going to select my everyone sent template that I've already set up, and I'm going to click on the pencil option here so that we can edit and view our template. Now you can see here I've already mapped several different things. The first thing we always map in any template is our constituent mapping, and once that's mapped, it does become grayed out up here on the left. We've got our constituent mapping here that shows us our first name as well as our last name and other areas that are available on Bio 1 and Bio 2 of a Razor's Edge record. So you're going to fill this out using a combination most likely of source fields as well as default values for what you need your data to look like in Razor's Edge. Of course, you never have a source field and a default value for the same row because source fields are the fields available to you in the API. So these are the fields available for this data selection from our API in Constant Contact. And default values are fields that come out of Razor's Edge, so you can add a specific default to everyone in this import. So for example, if everyone in this import were anonymous, I could check this box to mark them all as anonymous, whether or not anything in this drop down for my API tells us that they are. Obviously, anonymous is not something we're going to mark everyone as a default, but that's how those two fields work. So you're never going to choose them both at the same time, but you're going to choose one or the other to populate the field in the Razor's Edge. Let's go ahead and save that so you can see some of our other fields. I've also mapped a constituent code. I've assigned the code for friend to all of my Constant Contact email recipients. I've also created an email opt-out. So I wanted to work with my consent areas. I have used my category in my channel based off of my consent rules set up in the business rules in Razor's Edge. I'm using my opt-out reason as a consent statement. I've got my created time as my date of consent. I have marked them as opt-out. And I have added the online donation. Now, because I have chosen opt-out as a default value, you can see I do have a field setting here. And I am telling this to only assign that field when the opt-out reason is not blank. Because I'm doing that, and because the response is a required field, this is being left blank on anyone who does not have an opt-out reason. And because one of the required fields is being left blank, it will ignore creating a consent record on that constituent. So we've got it all set up so that we only add opt-out on people who have actually opted out. The other thing we could do, if we wanted to have it say opt-out and opt-in, we could change this to opt-out reason as our response. And we could say that if we can add two rows here. If the opt-out reason is blank, then they've opted in. And if the opt-out reason is anything else that's not blank using our catch-all, then they've opted out. And then we would want to remove that conditional value. So a couple of different options of ways you could work with your opt-in and opt-out. I'm going to leave it there as is. And then I want to show you that I have set up an email appeal. So I've set up my email appeal here so that we've got that appeal name from a default value. We have our date for when they received it, and then we have their response down here saying they're tracking their activity type. Now I did realize that everyone who is marked as sent has received it. If they have the word open or the word clicked, I want it to change from received to opened or clicked. So we've got a couple options here so that we can make sure that we track our people as we need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to save my mapping, and then let's go over and take a quick look at what we've set up on our actions. So I have mapped my email options here. So I've got my created time as my action date. I have a category of email. I have checked completed because I want to default them all to being completed, and I've got my created date as my completed date. I could fill in any of these other fields as I wanted to for what our purposes are with actions. And I can also create action attributes. So I have an action attribute showing us our campaign name, so that way we can see which email this was. I have another one that shows if it's been opened. And I've got my tracking action there to show that it's opened. And then I have an option here for clicks. So if they have a click URL, I want to see what they clicked on, and this allows me to track that as well. At this point, I can go ahead and save and close my template. And if we were processing this, we would create a control report by checking on the binoculars here so we can save that wherever we need to find it on our system, and click continue, and that allows us to review our data and import it into the Razor's Edge. I hope that walking through this template has helped you have an idea of how you can work with your constant contact data in Razor's Edge using Importacular. Thanks for joining me today, and we hope to hear from you soon.